Hello and welcome to our English News Edition broadcast to you from Canal, Algérie. First, to the headlines. The Minister of Foreign Affairs and National Community abroad, Ramtal Amamra, is received by the President of the Transition, the Malian Head of State, Colonel Assimi Goïta. Amamra, alongside his Malian counterpart, co-chairs the 18th session of the Algerian-Malian Bilateral Strategic Committee and meets with the representatives of the signatory movement of the Peace and Reconciliation Agreement stemming from the Algiers process. A remarkable improvement of schooling conditions is marking the new school year. Digital tablets are introduced to lighten the weight of school bags, and the new establishments were added to alleviate overcrowding classrooms. And with the end of the summer holiday season, our nationals settled abroad are back in ports and airports where new measures have been taken in order to facilitate the travel procedures. And finally, among the 14 coastal cities of the country, Boumerdas province is ranked one of the most visited cities in the country, as it recorded a huge number of 16 million visitors during this summer season. Good evening. Those were today's top stories. First, our news. And as part of his working and friendship visit to the Republic of Mali, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and National Community abroad, Ramtal Amamra, was received on Friday by the President of the Transition, the Malian Head of State, Colonel Assimi Goïta. Amamra conveyed to the Head of State of Mali a message sent by the President of the Republic, Abdelmadjid Tebboune, about the historical relations, good neighborliness, cooperation and solidarity binding the two countries. The Malian high authorities, headed by the transition President Assimi Goïta, hailed the solidarity of the President of the Republic, Abdelmadjid Tebboune, with Mali, as well as his continuous support for peace and stability on the regional and international level. The Minister of Foreign Affairs and National Community abroad, Ramtal Amamra, along with his Malian counterpart, Abdoulaye Diop, co-chaired on Thursday the 18th session of the Algerian-Malian Bilateral Strategic Committee. The proceedings of this session allowed the two parties to review a wide range of issues of common interest related to the consolidation of bilateral relations, as well as the implementation of the Peace and Reconciliation Agreement in Mali stemming from the Algiers process, in addition to the current issues at the regional and international level. Let us now have a listen to the statement made by the head of the Malian diplomacy, Abdoulaye Diop, and the Foreign Affairs Minister, Ramtal Amamra.
Je dois dire que nous avons travaillé.
I can say that we worked in an atmosphere marked by solidarity. President Abdelmadjid Tebboune, just like President Goïta, are attached to the principles of solidarity, peace and joint work. I would like to salute Algeria's commitment concerning peace, as well as its constructive and comprehensive approach when it comes to the peaceful transition in Mali, especially the idea that we are neighbors. Whatever happens in Mali will affect Algeria, meaning the need to stand by our side as a force to help and accompany us. May I say that today's session brought a lot of common thoughts and commitments to develop partnerships and cooperation agreements based on a constructive dynamic established by our two countries.
Still with the Minister of Foreign Affairs and National Community abroad, Ramtal Amamra, who held a meeting on Thursday with the representatives of the signatory movement of the Peace and Reconciliation Agreement in Mali stemming from the Algiers process. The meeting, which took place following the 18th session of the Bilateral Strategic Committee, allowed to take note of the points of view of the movements, allowing to complete the global evaluation on the state of the implementation of the agreement. On this occasion, the representatives of the movements reiterated their attachment to the agreement, as it is the cornerstone of the efforts aiming to promote reconciliation and peace, as well as preserving the unity of Mali. The participants also seized this opportunity to renew their confidence in Algeria's role in its dual capacity as leader in the international mediation and a country chairing the monitoring committee of the agreement. For his part, the head of the Algerian diplomacy affirmed Algeria's availability to continue its support to help the signatory parties to ensure a prompt, efficient, and full implementation of the agreement to preserve Mali's interests. Now back to national news, and only a few days before the beginning of the new school year, the Minister of National Education announced on Thursday the resumption of the usual teaching system in all educational cycles and therefore the abandonment of the exceptional system, a decision taken in implementation of the President of the Republic's guidelines following meetings with the national parent teachers organizations as well as the approved trade unions of the sector. In the same context, this new school year is marked by an improvement of schooling conditions. New schooling establishments were added to alleviate overcrowded classrooms, and digital tablets are to be introduced to students to lighten the weight of their school bags. Story by Ines Killo.
To ensure the comfort of students and to maintain their focus during the class, intensive measures, pedagogical preparation and exceptional procedures were taken, like Tibisa province, which is preparing to receive students this year with great fanfare. Almost 1,000 tablets have been distributed to several schools in the region.
The goal is to lighten the student's school bag, but also to allow him to get used to the new technologies. The province of Tibisa has benefited from 12 primary schools with 19 tablets for each school. In all, 1,080 tablets will be distributed. We expect the opening of 4 other establishments by the end of the year. These tablets will make it possible to lighten the school bag.
And to alleviate overcrowding in the classroom, new establishments were added to strengthen the school educational sector in the province of Msila, spread over several communes in the province.
We are converting the unused areas into schools. We have started the construction work to deliver these schools as soon as possible.
والبدء فيها والاستلام فيه إن شاء الله في أقرب وقت.
تقدر تستعمم على مستوى كل.
We have gained 30 new establishments thanks to this operation, 10 primary schools and 3 middle schools. The operation continues in the province of Msila.
These new measures will make it possible to ensure that all school children in the area return to school in peace and study within the appropriate educational standards.
After spending the summer holidays in their homeland, our nationals settled abroad are now regaining their receiving countries, and for a better traveling experience, several measures are granted at the port of Algiers. More insight with Melissa Kabash.
As everything must come to an end, summer vacation did as well. Our Algerian community established abroad are leaving the country after spending great holidays.
Everything is going well. So far, we have no problems concerning the procedures. The customs services alongside the border police were put at our disposal to help us go through the travel procedures.
For the great delight of travelers, measures have been established by the Port of Algiers' authorities to facilitate the travel procedures and ensure a quick transition.
We've mobilized all the necessary human and material means to guarantee the smooth running of the travel. We've also established a green path for families, elderly people, and people with specific needs.
The border police facilitated the entry for 111,638 travelers and 35,741 vehicles. Concerning departures, we have recorded since August the 20th no less than 15,000 travelers and 18,209 vehicles.
After enjoying their vacation with their loved ones in their homeland, Algerian families settled abroad are going back to their daily lives, wishing to come back soon.
In other news, the collective of Moroccan women against political arrests reiterated its demands for the release of the humanitarian rights activist Saïda Al-Alami, expressing its deep concern about her health after the activist began a hunger strike. Saïda Al-Alami has been detained in the jails of the Makhzan for 6 months after she denounced the repression of journalists and activists and refused to support the Makhzan regime. In another development, the Palestinian health minister announced the death of a young Palestinian killed on Friday by the Zionist occupation forces at the north of El Khalil. 7 other Palestinians were injured by rubber-coated metal bullets, and dozens were asphyxiated when the Zionist army dispersed an anti-colonization protest organized every Friday. And we wrap up our today's news edition with tourism. The coastal city of Boumerdès recorded more than 16 million visitors this summer season, according to the National Office of Tourism. The city's beautiful beaches and landscapes made it a favorite summer destination. Story by Ines Kilo.
Out of the 14 coastal cities of the country, Boumerdès province is one of the most frequented destinations this summer. Figures recorded more than 16 million visitors, of which thousands have chosen to stay in the various hotels and touristic complexes of this province.
We came from Batna. We chose the Mouri al-Bahri complex in particular for its location. There's the swimming pool and just next to it the beach, and all around the forest where we can have a walk with children at the end of the day. The capacity of this complex is 204 beds. We've been open since last July. Our customers come even from Canada, the United States, and from all over the world.
This relaxation space have been allocated for those who want to relax, spend time with family and friends, as it is the case with Mukhtar and his family who choose this complex to enjoy the last days of their summer holidays.
I heard about this resort from my friends. All conditions are met for a good vacation.
This province has great natural potentialities, especially in terms of touristic infrastructures, which made it a good destination par excellence.
And with this, our today's news edition comes to a close. Thank you for joining us.